Hey guys, it's Roy from Apotheca Marketing. If you haven't been keeping an eye out, ChatGPT snuck in something a little surprising. Let's take a look. So if you have the paid version of ChatGPT 4.0, you may or may not have noticed this little icon. This is essentially their ChatGPT Search. And so this is going to search the web for you. So this is a built-in web browser in your ChatGPT experience. You can also download a plugin from ChatGPT that will make your browser default search using ChatGPT rather than, for instance, Google. Which is a little sneaky, but Google did the same thing for a long time with Bing. So this allows you to search directly in ChatGPT. It's a complete web search, so not just depending on the AI. So let's take a little look at this. So let me see a search here. Let's look at best transmissions for Ford F-150. We have a lot of automotive clients, so I'm going to use that as a search, and we'll see what comes up. All right, and so right off the bat, you can see that this is more conversational than you would typically get with Google. So it's providing the answers to the question, but it's also giving these links to the associated area where it's getting the information from. So it's got these links to the helpful fix, for instance, and that kind of thing, right? So pretty straightforward, kind of like what you'd expect to see from ChatGPT in general. Let's see what the same search in Google provides. And it's a lot of shopping, right? And this is something that we've seen from Google for a while now. And depending on the industry, the first essentially page of search results is Google Shopping. And it's just all product. It's all, you can do filtering on it generally, that kind of stuff. But essentially it's just owning the first part of the whole search engine experience. And then of course, what do you see? Reddit, which is also a big thing. And then you start getting into some of the forums and stuff like that. But this obviously is less cluttered, less advertising, and a little bit more straightforward for you. Let's do another search just to see, since it's getting a little bit cooler, let's say best windbreakers for under $200. I'm just going to copy that so I can do that in Google as well. So best windbreakers. And now it's showing some images and that kind of stuff. And you can see that this is not shopping links. You're looking at, stuff from essentially affiliate sites. So the best windbreaker jackets of 2024, Gear Junkie tested. Same thing, coming from a similar site or from the same site. Men, this is Nordstrom's, so it is a shopping site. But it's more conversational too, because it's telling you about it and then saying that it retails for $160. So it's telling you the price, but it's not trying to get you to actually shop it, to buy it. It does take you to the image. Let's see what happens when you click on the site itself. And then it takes you to the windbreaker section of Nordstrom, which makes sense, right? So a little bit more information, a little bit more of a mix of websites that it's bringing you. And now let's do that same search on Google. And it's not over inundated with the shopping stuff, surprisingly. But it does have like the breakdown for the facets for your shopping. It has the majority of this top section is all sponsored, unlike the ChatGPT. And then you get into the different websites. And then down here, it goes into products. So your results are going to vary depending on where you are and what you shop for. You may see different search results, obviously, but again, it's largely populated with shopping and sponsored ads. And then, a lot of the SEO. So you're not seeing any kind of like of the affiliate sites that you would normally see, like that are comparing, or blogs that are comparing the products or anything like that. It goes right into the shopping sites, the large retailers and that kind of stuff. This one does look like it's the Gear Junkie one, so that is one of the probably affiliate sites, but it's rather far down on the SERP. So let's do just another one. Luxury apartments near me. Not that I'm shopping for an apartment, but we do a lot of multifamily clients. All right, and so we're in Lithia, Florida, so that's right. It knew where I was. And it's going to list, again, more informational stuff about the places. So this is just down the road from us. This is circa at Fishhawk, and it lists the price range. So that's super helpful, right? Like that's pretty helpful. It's an apartments.com listing. Those are, apartments.com and rent.com. The big ILSs are going to dominate a lot of the results. What's that one? Is that it's apartmenthomeliving.com. So it's the big ILSs that are pretty common for the industry. Let me make sure I copied that. Let's see what these guys have. Again, the top is dominated by sponsored listings, which is not the case on ChatGPT, at least not yet. And then you get into the map pack. Now, this is one difference where I will say the map pack is pretty useful for a lot of people, because it does show you very quickly and easily businesses near you, their ratings, that kind of stuff. Although, again, that is completely controlled by Google. So a lot of companies have a hard time getting and staying listed on Google. It's free for them, but it is something that they control. So that is a problem. And then you do start to see some of the same listings that you would have on ChatGPT, which is like apartments.com, and stuff like that. So you do get into some of the individual properties here, and then they answer some questions. So overall, it's something that, again, we just started playing with this. It's something that ChatGPT just released kind of quietly. So if you don't see that search icon, it means that you probably don't have the paid version of ChatGPT yet. It is different from Google in their content and that kind of thing. So we'll keep an eye on this as it continues to develop, but it's kind of exciting. It's something that we're going to play with. It also is going to be something that you're going to need to start thinking about optimizing your content for. Because this could potentially be one of those situations where a big player in the industry is displaced over time. We've seen that happen in the past, and especially with the government looking at potentially breaking up Google and into stuff like that. That could fundamentally change their business models and how their tools behave and how you use them. So it's something to keep an eye on. But if you haven't had a chance to play around with it, we encourage you to. Let us know in the comments stuff that you're seeing that might be better for ChatGPT, or that it's really missing out on. We'd love to hear from you about that. And like I said, we'll keep an eye on this. But if you're seeing stuff, let us know. We'll do future videos on this. And if you have questions, also let us know that. And we'll talk to you soon. Have a great day, guys.